Welcome back to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to be with our next guest. We're diving into the world of marketing. We're joined by Hillary Combest. She is the Vice President of Operations with Neon Canvas. And Hillary, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jeremy. How are you?
Doing well. So I love conversations around marketing, advertising, PR, digital marketing, which is obviously what we're going to dive into. But before we do that, give us a little bit of you've got a cool personal backstory in terms of some of your experiences growing up and then moving to Memphis. So give us a little bit of just your backstory and kind of where you grew up and being exposed to this world of DC, Washington, DC at an early age.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from a really rural town in Alabama. But growing up, you didn't really have a lot of role models or things to see in such a small environment. However, I was very fortunate to have an aunt who worked in politics in Washington, DC. So she worked in the White House when I was a teenager, and I got to spend my summers, going with her to work and really seeing that there was this woman that people listened to. And, it was such an inspiration to see someone I knew in a powerful position. And so from there, from a very early age, I always knew that I wanted to go into PR or marketing, just that whole world. And here I am. So it was really just a cool, my formative years were really awesome just to be able to watch her and have that inspiration.
Yeah, very, very cool. Especially to your point, to see a woman in a position of power that you can say, hey, I want to be like that. Talk about moving to Memphis and first impressions of Memphis and just kind of how the city has grown on you.
Yes. So I moved to Memphis in about 2015. Yes, 2015. Straight out of college. I went to Mississippi State, moved here, knew no one. However, I started working and made some friends. And Memphis, I've kind of learned that it's a small, big town. Like everyone knows everyone. So it's really great, like all the connections I've made. It was quite a culture shock when I first moved here. I'm like, oh, traffic. Like there's all these cool things. You can do things any night of the week. So it's been such a great experience. And I'm so lucky to call it home now.
Well, my wife will love hearing that you're a Mississippi State grad. She's a Mississippi State grad a couple of times over. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead and dive in. Neon Canvas, as I alluded to, marketing, digital marketing. You cover a broad spectrum. Give us your vantage point when you describe the work that Neon Canvas does. How do you describe it?
Right. So we are a digital marketing agency. Like you said, we do everything that falls under that umbrella. So, websites, SEO, creative designs, rebranding, videography, everything that will fall under digital, and even then some, we handle and take care of for our clients. But it's a really interesting process to see someone that has come to us and they're like, I don't really have a brand, or I don't even have a practice name yet. So our team members take that and they run with it and they create these brands from scratch. And now, clients have huge, beautiful websites that really, make the user experience such an awesome process. I mean, it's just amazing to see from beginning to end.
And the clientele is both local, but also national. And you've got some really neat kind of niche areas that you focus in on too. And so talk about kind of the local and national, and then some of the different areas of expertise in terms of the industries that you serve.
Right. Absolutely. So we do have that niche area, and that is like orthodontics and dentistry. We have medical practices, and those are really like our sweet spots and things like that. But we are not limited to just those industries. So we have a lot of local clients, such as sports floors, prop seller, we've got these service industries, and we've got these event places. And then we even have some e-commerce clients. So it's really cool to see the difference in, what all our team is capable of, but as well as, like you said, like the local, like we really get to learn a lot more about some local businesses here. And then some of our orthodontic clients, they range from, the Northeast to the Southwest. We've got the whole United States covered, I believe, by now. So it's just really a lot of different things happening.
Talk about the idea, especially when you look at orthodontics, for instance, you can take best practices, things that you're learning from one customer, because they're not competing in the same territory, you can share that among that platform. And so you get the advantage, kind of the learning, if you will, from each one of what works in different markets. And you can try and beta test, and you can really be creative, but you can share that along the clientele. So talk about a little bit of just the nuances of being able to really share best practices and do some creative things, and then take those into other industries and clients, and then say, hey, look, here's what we can do. Here's what worked over here. Let's take that and work it over here too. So I think that's kind of a cool element of this.
It really is. So, that really works well, for instance, with our SEO team, because they're able to see, oh, well, we run these ads and they work really well. Let's take that and see if it works really well in Florida or up here in Washington State or somewhere like that. So we're able to really dive in and see what works. And then we do have, some clients in the same general areas, and we're like, oh, great. Well, we know exactly what works here.
Give me one other thing that you wish everyone knew about Neon Canvas.
I really wish that everyone knew how amazing that all of our team members are. I think this goes without saying, but they create really great things, and they create all of these great assets for our clients. But so much hard work goes into this process, and they really are passionate about how, wanting to see our clients' ROI, increase, and they never cease to amaze me in what they can create. There's no limit. Like, a good example of this is recently one of our clients was like, I want a cool website and I want you to do something you've never done before. And our developers and designers, they took that and they're like, okay, let's do this. And this website, it's still in the process of being built out, but what they have so far, it's mind blowing. And it's probably one of the best sites that I've ever seen. Definitely is. But, it's just like, the passion behind this team is so strong, and I'm just lucky to be a part of it.
Well, and so now for you on the operations side, a big part of your position is managing the culture, but helping to grow. And so when you look at the growth, the development, hiring, all of this, that falls under your kind of mode of operations. And so talk about that aspect is, working with the creatives and the team, but helping to build it out and continue the growth and the development of the company.
We have grown tremendously in how our client growth has gone over the past year. And with that, we've brought on a lot of team members. And so I think most importantly is not necessarily a challenge, but something that I need to look at and readjust is, how do we continue to serve our clients with the same white glove service that we've offered since the beginning of Neon Canvas? So the more we grow, the more we add. I really just want to keep that core of what Neon Canvas was founded on, and really be able to serve our clients, and with that, keep our team members happy, and work on our onboarding process and how we just the overall culture, like you said, just to make sure that everyone's happy and we continue to bring on people that are in the right fit for our company. And I cannot wait to see what we'll continue to do, because everyone that we've brought on in the past year, it's been like such a natural fit. So I'm anxious to keep this rolling.
What are you looking for on your end in terms of fit? So give me an idea, when you talk about a fit for Neon Canvas, what are some of the things that you're looking for team members?
Yeah, so something that I always like to look for is just how well a conversation goes with someone. I mean, I feel like that's such a great start, because you sometimes will have someone on the phone and be like, oh, hey, like, does the conversation go natural? Like, does it flow naturally? But also, you need someone that, and I always tend to look for someone that's very positive and willing to learn. It is such a fast-paced environment. Like, you have to be able to just be a self-starter and, learn the ropes pretty quickly. So just someone that has that capability to really jump in feet first, but also someone that's fun and lively and can carry on conversations. Now that we're all back in the office more, it's really great to see all the different personalities, because when I started, everyone worked from home. So it's been like such a relief to be able to be like, oh, hey, and, just joke around with people. And it honestly does feel like a family.
When you look at the growth, a big piece of this, I think, is the pandemic has really shown us the power of digital marketing and the importance of it. And so when you look at being able to still engage your customers, whether they're B2B or B2C, you realize marketing is extremely important to your success. And so I feel like that plays a big advantage when you talk about the growth of a digital agency, like Neon Canvas. And so from your vantage point, talk about what you see as a trend moving forward around as we come out of this pandemic, around what you're seeing for marketing and the continual growth of digital media and marketing.
Right. So this is an example to go along with that. I'll lead with this, but back to how most of our clients are orthodontists. When the COVID-19 started, that pandemic, beginning of that, their patients were not able to go into their office anymore. So our team, they were really fast in their thinking and set up these virtual consultations. And they're on the client's website, and all a patient has to do is take a picture of their teeth and send it in with their information. And if they were a current patient, okay, well, we have, a virtual visit as well as the virtual consultation. So with that, I've seen a lot of our clients continue to use that. I mean, even though they're like, oh, well, we're back to normal, but it's such a great feature and it's convenient. So that's just something that I think will really continue to be an advantage and to continue to take off for a lot of clients. Even if you spun that for a different industry and it's like, oh, well, I can't come into your store, but could I do like a virtual viewing of this piece of furniture? Okay, that's something that we could potentially set up for you and see how that goes. But I would definitely say like the virtual capabilities that you can use with a website. And I think it's just amazing that people are like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And I know from like myself, I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I would rather just do a telemed. So it's along those concepts, but I think it can really be utilized for a variety of industries.
What's something that when you look at the culture and the chemistry, and you mentioned, everyone now being able to get back together again and joking around and really creating relationships, and, relationships lead to creativity. When you look at coming back in the pandemic, what's something like that in terms of just being back in the same proximity with each other? What's something that you think is going to make you stronger coming out of this for Neon Canvas that you think is going to lead to really good things?
That's a great question, because about 2 weeks ago, we actually had one of our first team building days in a year. And I think that was just such a great time for everyone to come together, be together, step away from their computer for a little bit and come back refreshed. It was in the middle of the week, and it was just like, we're all ready for the weekend, but it was such a great experience to see everyone really mesh together. It was typically more people than are in the office, because a lot of our employees still work from home. And, and then we were back on Thursday and everyone was just like back at it. And it was such great to see, like, everyone else seemed refreshed. And, you come back and you're like, oh, you have more ideas. You were maybe even able to talk with some of the team members about stuff in person and bounce ideas off each other. So I like being able to do that and continue to do that, because I think it's so great for everyone to mingle and be able to communicate one-on-one and just get a sense of, okay, let's breathe for a day and we're going to come back better than ever.
What advice would you give to young professionals, especially college graduates that are entering in and they want to get into the marketing and advertising and digital media field? What advice would you give them?
I have to say, maybe do an internship. So I actually did an feel like this is pretty generic information, but it helped me so much. I did actually 2 internships my senior year of college, a communications one for a big firm in Phoenix, Arizona, and then for a small digital marketing agency that was in Starkville at the time. So I was able to work in a real world environment and see, like, is this what I really want to do? Do I want to go the communications route? Do I want to go the marketing route? And ended up on the digital marketing route. I've been doing this for so long now, I feel like, but definitely put your feelers out and see what it is that you're passionate about and what you enjoy and what you're good at. And I think that an internship is such a great way to really get a feel for the real world.
We'll wrap up with contact information. So where does everyone go? Website, social media, where do we go to learn more about Neon Canvas?
You can go to neoncanvas.com to find us. And we are also on Facebook at Neon Canvas, as well as Instagram at Neon Canvas. So, yeah.
Well, Hillary, thank you for all you and your team do. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for having me. I appreciate it.